Picture this, a spotless home, delicious meals on the table, and time left over for hobbies and relaxation, all without spending a fortune on fancy products or gadgets. This wasn't a fantasy. This was everyday life for the resourceful housewives of 1969, and their ingenious hacks are going viral again for good reason. They work better than most modern solutions, cost almost nothing, and use items you already have at home. Today, I'm revealing the DIY secrets that kept homes running smoothly over 50 years ago, and why Americans across the country are rediscovering these brilliant methods right now. If you've been struggling with stubborn stains, cluttered spaces, or expensive cleaning bills, you're about to discover why sometimes the old ways really are the best ways. The women of 1969 didn't have access to specialty stores or online shopping, so they became masters of creative problem solving using simple household items. What they created wasn't just effective, it was economical, safe, and surprisingly satisfying to make and use. Let's start in the kitchen, where 1969 housewives transformed ordinary baking soda into a cleaning powerhouse that outperforms most expensive modern products. They kept a large box under the sink and used it for everything. For scrubbing sinks and tubs, they'd sprinkle it directly on the surface, add just enough water to make a paste, and watch it cut through grime effortlessly. Unlike harsh chemical cleansers that damage surfaces over time, baking soda is gentle enough to use daily, yet powerful enough to handle tough jobs. The women knew that for burnt pots and pans, you'd sprinkle a generous amount of baking soda, add boiling water, let it sit overnight, and the burnt residue would wipe away with almost no scrubbing the next morning. But here's a hack that's getting thousands of shares on social media right now: the overnight refrigerator freshener. In 1969, housewives placed an open box of baking soda on each refrigerator shelf, replacing it monthly. This absorbed odors so effectively that your fridge always smelled clean and fresh. No plug-in deodorizers, no sprays, just pure simplicity that works. They'd mark the replacement date right on the box with a pen. White vinegar was their second miracle product, and they bought it by the gallon because they used it everywhere. For windows and mirrors, they mixed equal parts white vinegar and water in a spray bottle, applied it with newspaper instead of paper towels, and achieved a streak-free shine that professionals admire. The newspaper method works because the texture and ink combination buffs the glass perfectly. This costs pennies compared to brand-name glass cleaners, and there are no chemical fumes to worry about. The 1969 approach to laundry revolutionized how clothes stayed fresh and lasted longer. Before washing machines had all those complicated settings, housewives pre-treated every stain individually with targeted solutions. For grease stains, they rubbed liquid dish soap directly into the fabric before washing. For wine or fruit stains, they poured boiling water through the stain from a height of 2 or 3 feet, letting gravity and heat work together. For grass stains, they made a paste of baking soda and water, applied it to the stain, let it dry completely, then brushed it off before washing normally. Here's one that's particularly relevant for anyone dealing with rising energy costs. They dried clothes outside whenever possible. Not just because it saved electricity, but because sunshine naturally bleached whites and left everything smelling incredible. They knew that items dried in direct sunlight required less ironing because the fabric relaxed in the gentle breeze. For those living in apartments or areas without outdoor space, they'd hang items near sunny windows to capture the same benefits. Their approach to organizing kitchen cabinets demonstrates pure genius. They lined shelves with adhesive paper that could be wiped clean and replaced easily. This kept shelves spotless and made finding spills simple to handle. They grouped items by frequency of use, not by category. Everyday dishes stayed at eye level within easy reach. Special occasion items went higher up. This practical arrangement saved countless steps and prevented the frustration of moving things around to reach what you needed. The 1969 housewives created drawer dividers from empty cereal boxes cut to size. They'd measure the drawer depth, cut the boxes accordingly, and arrange them to create custom compartments for utensils, tools, or bathroom items. This cost nothing and could be rearranged any time needs changed. It's a hack that organizers now sell as an innovative idea, but homemakers were doing it for free decades ago. The DIY solutions from 1969 extended far beyond basic cleaning, reaching into every corner of home management with creativity that would impress any modern homesteader. These housewives approached problems with the mindset that if something could be made at home, it should be made at home. The money saved added up significantly, but more importantly, they knew exactly what ingredients went into everything their families used. Floor care in 1969 homes followed methods that protected surfaces while achieving results that made visitors notice. For hardwood floors, they created their own polish using equal parts olive oil and white vinegar with a few drops of lemon juice. This mixture cleaned, shined, and protected the wood naturally. They applied it sparingly with a soft cloth, buffed it in, and the floors glowed with a deep, warm shine. Modern floor products often build up a film that eventually dulls the wood, but this simple mixture prevented that problem entirely. Carpet care required different ingenuity. Before vacuum cleaners became powerful and widespread, housewives sprinkled salt over carpets before sweeping. The salt attracted dirt and dust, making it easier to remove. For carpet stains, they used club soda immediately after spills occurred, blotting repeatedly with clean cloths. The carbonation lifted stains effectively, especially wine and soda spills. For set-in carpet stains, they mixed equal parts white vinegar and water, sprayed the area, let it sit for 15 minutes, then blotted with a clean towel. For really stubborn stains, they'd cover the area with this solution, place a towel over it, and iron on low heat. The combination of moisture, heat, and pressure drew the stain into the towel. Furniture care followed seasonal rhythms that kept pieces looking beautiful for generations. They made furniture polish from 1 cup of olive oil mixed with half a cup of lemon juice. This was rubbed into wood furniture monthly, creating a protective barrier that prevented drying and cracking. For leather furniture, they used a simple mixture of 1 part vinegar to 2 parts linseed oil, applied with a soft cloth and buffed until it gleamed. These treatments cost almost nothing compared to commercial products and worked just as well, if not better. The bathroom received special attention because keeping it fresh and sanitary mattered deeply to 1969 housewives. They created toilet bowl cleaner by pouring 1 cup of baking soda and 1 cup of white vinegar into the bowl, letting it fizz and bubble for 15 minutes, then scrubbing and flushing. This combination cleaned, deodorized, and disinfected naturally. For shower curtains that developed mildew, they removed them monthly and soaked them in a bathtub filled with warm water, a cup of vinegar, and a cup of baking soda for an hour before rehinging them to dry. This prevented having to replace shower curtains frequently. Soap scum on shower doors frustrated housewives then as much as it does now, but they solved it with a mixture of equal parts dish soap and white vinegar heated in the microwave for 30 seconds. They applied this warm mixture with a sponge, let it sit for 10 minutes, then rinsed clean. The heat helped the solution penetrate the soap scum, making removal nearly effortless. Personal care products were another area where 1969 housewives excelled at DIY solutions. They made face masks from honey and oatmeal, grinding regular oats in a blender to create a fine powder, mixing it with honey to form a paste, applying it to clean skin, and rinsing after 15 minutes. This gentle exfoliation and moisturizing treatment rivaled anything sold in stores. For dry hands, they created an overnight treatment by rubbing petroleum jelly thoroughly into their hands before bed. The final category of 1969 housewife hacks reveals their mastery of food preservation, meal stretching, and kitchen efficiency that saved substantial money while ensuring families ate well. These weren't deprivation tactics, but smart strategies that modern homemakers are rediscovering as food costs rise and interest in sustainable living grows across America. Meal planning in 1969 involved creating master grocery lists organized by store layout. Housewives kept a running list throughout the week, adding items as they ran low rather than trying to remember everything on shopping day. They shopped sales religiously, buying larger quantities of non-perishables when prices dropped, creating a home stockpile that insulated them from price fluctuations. This wasn't hoarding, but strategic purchasing that we now call pantry management. Their approach to leftovers was creative rather than repetitive. Leftover roasted chicken became chicken salad for sandwiches, then chicken soup with the bones. Leftover vegetables were combined into frittatas or added to soups. Stale bread became breadcrumbs, croutons, or bread pudding. Nothing edible entered the garbage. This mindset transformation alone can cut grocery bills by 20 to 30%. Food preservation extended shelf life significantly. They stored flour, sugar, and rice in airtight containers with a bay leaf added to each container to prevent insect infestation. Brown sugar was kept soft by placing a slice of apple or a piece of bread in the container. When it hardened anyway, they placed it in a sealed bag with a damp paper towel overnight to restore softness. These simple tricks prevented waste and saved money. Produce storage followed specific rules that kept fruits and vegetables fresh much longer. Lettuce lasted weeks when washed, dried completely, wrapped in paper towels, and stored in sealed containers. Celery stayed crisp when wrapped in aluminum foil and refrigerated. Tomatoes never went in the refrigerator because cold temperatures ruined their texture and flavor. Instead, they were stored stem side down on the counter. Bananas lasted longer when separated rather than left in bunches because they released gases that accelerated ripening. Freezer management was approached systematically. Everything frozen was labeled with contents and date using masking tape and permanent marker. Bread, which many people don't realize freezes beautifully, was stored in the freezer to prevent staleness, with slices removed as needed. Butter, purchased on sale, was frozen in its original packaging. Cheese froze successfully when wrapped tightly in plastic wrap, then aluminum foil. These practices allowed housewives to stock up during sales and use items at their convenience. Kitchen efficiency included time-saving preparations that modern batch cooking enthusiasts are now promoting as innovative ideas. Every Sunday, 1969 housewives chopped onions, celery, and peppers for the week, storing them in containers in the refrigerator. They cooked large batches of ground beef, drained it, and froze it in portions. This meant weeknight meals came together in minutes rather than requiring full preparation time. They assembled casseroles in disposable aluminum pans, covered them tightly, and froze them unbaked for future easy dinners. Their baking skills saved money while providing treats that brought families together. They mastered versatile recipes that could be adapted endlessly. A basic yellow cake recipe became birthday cakes with different frostings, cupcakes for school events, or coffee cake with added cinnamon and streusel topping. Cookie dough was made in large batches, shaped into logs, wrapped tightly, and frozen. Whenever fresh cookies were needed, they'd slice off rounds and bake just what was required. Garden preservation was standard practice even for those with small yards or balconies. They grew tomatoes, peppers, herbs, and lettuce in containers if ground space was limited. Fresh herbs were dried by hanging them upside down in bunches in a warm, dry location, then stored in jars. Excess produce was canned, frozen, or shared with neighbors in exchange for their surplus items, creating community food networks that benefited everyone. The most powerful hack from 1969 wasn't a recipe or technique, but a mindset shift. These housewives viewed homemaking as skilled work worthy of pride and continuous improvement. They shared discoveries with neighbors, passed knowledge to daughters, and constantly refined their methods. They understood that a well-run home created stability, comfort, and security that no amount of money could purchase. As we face increasing costs and growing interest in sustainable, chemical-free living, these 1969 DIY hacks offer proven solutions that work in real life. They're not trendy experiments, but time-tested methods that kept homes running beautifully for generations. Try implementing just a few of these hacks this week and share your results in the comments below. Let us know which hack surprised you most or which one you're excited to try first. Don't forget to subscribe for more vintage wisdom that actually works in modern life, and hit that like button if you found these retro solutions helpful. Share this video with friends and family who appreciate practical, money-saving ideas that our grandmothers knew by heart. You'll likely find yourself wondering why anyone abandoned these brilliant ideas in the first place. The housewives of 1969 knew something important that we're finally remembering. Simple, natural, homemade solutions often work better than expensive modern alternatives, and the satisfaction of making things yourself creates a sense of accomplishment that no store-bought product can ever provide.